guys, it's Nikki, Creative Nikki's Homemade Crafts. Today I would like to teach you how to block acrylic yarn. So I have here a really neat piece of 8 inches times 8 inches of a granny square. Not really a granny square, but more, I'll just call it a granny square. Hi guys, it's Nikki, Creative Nikki's Homemade Crafts. Today I would like to teach you how to block acrylic yarn. I have here a square that is 8 times 8 inches, and it's supposed to be roughly that size. So, and then I have this beautiful board that I got from Shenanigans, and it is called a 812 board, and it's so incredible. Okay, so as you can see, I turned on my light on purpose right above so you can see how shiny it is, okay? So they have this special glaze over so that you can use it with steam, with water, whatever you need it for. This is handmade. This is very, very sturdy. It comes with this cool little stand, so when you use a steamer or a spraying, a water bottle, you don't have to bend downwards, but you can actually stand it up so that it's vertical. And you won't have problems. Now it comes with all these sticks, these metal sticks. They come with it, and they come even with smaller pieces. As you can see, there's some smaller pieces in there if you don't have to block so many squares. I actually have to block 30 squares, and these sticks are enough for 30 squares. In fact, I even got this perfector strip with it, so that I can put these on top. So, because if you think about physics wise, if you put all these sticks on, okay, and you have tension going on because the square is not exactly the size that it was or is supposed to be in the beginning, then you have tension going on, and then these sticks bend, okay? So in order to prevent the bending, you can put these perfector strips right on top, such as that. Let me see if I can bend a little bit so you can see this, right? They're like right on top, so if you have a good amount of granny squares, you can actually nicely push these down too. And I have 4 of these, obviously, because it looks like a square. Okay, so these are all these sticks that I got. Now these are not normal sticks you can buy at like a hardware store. These are special kind that they made that work only for their boards, okay? So you can only get these sticks if you get one of their boards. Now, if you're interested in getting one of these cool, wonderful boards, there is a link below, or on my website, there should be a link down there, so you can grab one of them yourself. Very often they are on sale. These are, again, handmade. These are incredible. I've worked with other ones before, the foam ones and whatever. I actually tried to make myself one, and it didn't work out. So these are incredible. These are up to 12 inches in size if you want to make, a big square and you need to block it. Now, let me show you what it means when you block something. Okay, so this is how my square looked like in the beginning. Actually, it still does, right? Because I just finished crocheting this. This is kind of how it looks like. It's all wobbly. It's not the size it's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be 8 inches, as you can tell. So these are 8 inches right here, the ones where there's a lot of small ones. So if I put this there, you can see they're not, right? Now this is the square I already blocked. And look, it is completely straight, and it fits. It has a little bit less than 8 inches, but that's all right. It pretty much fits 8 inches. So I want to make this an 8-inch square. Okay, here's another one. Now, a lot of people were asking, so do I just put them on and then spray with water and then leave it to dry for 24 hours? Well, that works maybe for wool or cotton or something. Not even cotton, I believe. I think it's just wool that it works for that. Now, acrylic is a little different, okay? Acrylic, you need steam, and it will be permanent. So you don't have to worry about later on that, oh my God, I have to wash it and now I'm going to lose the shape of it. You don't have to worry about that with acrylic. Acrylic, it would just be perfect afterwards again because the steam makes it permanent, okay? So here's what you do. So I'm going to pick the one that is not perfect, right? So let me show you, by the way, this is my steam gun. Okay, this is one that is anti-spill. So even if I hold it upside down, the water won't come out. This one has a capacity of 260 milliliters. So it's about roughly a cup of water. So that will last me for a little bit. And it has a nice lock function right here so that it continuously blows the steam out, so I don't have to worry about it. If you're interested in this one as well, there is a link in the description as well as on my website if you'd like to get this one. This is a really, really good one. In fact, I don't just use it for my crafts, but I use it for my shirts or my husband's shirts or whatever to make them wrinkle free, right? Okay, so let's get started. So what I like to do, so first of all, I turned on my steamer so that it heats up, although mine goes really fast, but I still have it turned on already. So what I like to do is I just put it into the corners first, and yes, it does kind of look like stretched, but once you kind of put some in between, it makes more of a square shape. So I like to put a lot of them in between, but you know, it's totally up to you how many you actually are going to use. There's no right formula. You could put it in every hole if you have enough sticks for those. But I just put, I don't know, a good amount in every spot here. So it's kind of straight, right? So that's what I'm trying to make sure. It's a very, very easy and fast process, unless you have quite a bit of squares to do. But in my case, it is 30 squares. So I think I did for one of them. I think it took me about, I don't even know, like 2 minutes or so. So now once you have one square on, then you just add the next one on top. So that's, at least that's how I do it. I just slide them down, right? So I have a few more that I'm just going to spread out wherever I think there should be one. There's no one. So I'm going to put one over here. Let's see if I'm going to move this one over. This one over. So there's one more over here. I want it kind of nice and straight. So I believe there's one over here. Okay, so that's kind of how it looks like so far. So that's this one, you have one of them in there. So you can tell this is now an 8 times 8 inch. Okay, so now I'm going to use my steamer right here and steam it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this kind of underneath a little bit, even though that's not how you're supposed to do it, but I'm just trying to make sure that you can see how I'm doing it, so that's a little bit of an angle. Okay, so I simply take it and I'll turn it on, and you make sure that you're not too close, so no closer than like 3 centimeters. Okay, and then you kind of go around it. I like to do it for about a minute. Don't stay in one spot the entire time because it'll make it too wet. You're trying to steam it, right? So now make sure that in the area where it's a little bit thicker, like in my case, this is a little bit thicker right here. I'm going to keep it a little longer. If you go too close, it'll melt the acrylic. Now you have these metal sticks, so you should be fine. So this is not like wood or anything. So yes, just be careful, they might get hot too. I would highly recommend letting one of them at least cool down before you put the next one on to dry it, right? So I think that's a good number. So I kind of turned it off now. And yes, it feels warm, but it doesn't feel like wet. It's just a little bit of moisture going on here. So this cools down really quickly. So you should be okay. So that's pretty much how you block acrylic yarn. So I just put then the next one pretty much on top. So it's kind of how I do it. So I just go first in the corners, just like I did before, and then I kind of line it up on one side first, and then I go to the next side, Just kind of slide them in. Then you go to the next side. So until I'm pretty much done with sliding them in, that part underneath is pretty much dry. Remember, I didn't make it wet. I just put a little bit of moisture due to the steamer on. Okay, so I'm going to touch it, and it looks pretty good. It's cool enough. And then I just slide this down, and then do the next one. Okay, so that's how that works. So I'm going to do the next one now. So then you're just going to keep on going and do as many squares as you have to do. So in the end, that will help when you put all the squares together to make a blanket. It will make the blanket look much better, because let's say you're sewing it up. That's what I do, at least for this particular blanket. And when you sew it up, you will have the lines, the edges, very nicely straight aligned. So instead of having it all wobbly, when it's a little bit wobbly, it can be hard to sew it up. So you want to make sure it's nice and straight. Also, please remember that I just said acrylic yarn, when you block it, it's permanent. So why don't you want to have it all nice and straight? Now this works the same way as if you have a big piece, such as a cardigan, or I don't know, just a top, or even a hat or so. You can do the same thing. You don't have to use a board like this. Obviously this would be too small for a cardigan, but you know, like a hat would fit here, on here too. Or you can break up a scarf or so into small pieces and just do piece by piece, right? So that's how that works. And then it looks so much nicer in the end, very nice and straight, and you won't have to have any problems later on when you sew it all up. Now here, I'm going to show you real quick how I would use these, right? So now, as you can see, these are perfector strips, and they are actually for 6 times 6, as you can tell, but there are some more over here. Now in order for me to line these up, I would have to make sure that this part, I don't know if you can tell, let me hold it like this so you can see it. So this would fit in here, this would fit in there, there, there. This wouldn't fit, and this wouldn't fit. So what I would have to do is I have to remove this and put it here to make sure it lines up with this hole right there. And then you just add them all on top, right? And then that way you can kind of push it down and make sure that these sticks don't bend, right? So these are really, really helpful for that. So I will use that once I have all 30 on here and have them all blocked, and then let them kind of all cool down for just a little bit before I take them all back off. So, and then start sewing it up. So I hope this video was helpful in how to block acrylic yarn. It is very easy. All you need to do is get one of these wonderful boards from Shenanigans. They're truly the best ones out there. I have used many other ones, and there's no other ones like it. And you will be pleased for a very long time, I promise you. And then you need just a steamer and whatever acrylic projects you did, and you're ready to go to block. That's all you pretty much have to do. There's nothing else you need, and then you're good to go and create beautiful, very nicely aligned pieces that look gorgeous on pictures or even worn later on. Let's say it's a cardigan or such thing. Alright, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you will try it out. Make sure you get one of these boards. There's a link below or in my blog post that refers to this video per se. And I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel for future video reminders, and like, comment, and share this video. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye!